Hey y'all. Okay, this is the last video. It's going to be short and sweet because I want to make sure I give you the task that I want you to do between this time and next time we're together for TIRA. Just a quick tour about where I am, considering we're talking about self-care. I am in my office slash prayer room. I have not yet made the office part come together, and the prayer, meditation, relaxation space is pretty minimal. You see, got that, got a pillow, got a blanket. I usually will take a book in there, some music, some relaxation, um, and I try when I come home not to move straight into work mode. I have lots of stuff that I'm working on, so even if it's not school or work related, I try not just to jump into it, but I try to take some time to literally decompress. It makes me so much more productive. So that's an encouragement for you to do. Find a place in your space where you can exhale and use that space for exhaling. Your body will recognize, oh, I'm in a different space. I try not to bring work into this section. Maybe over on the other side, but not into this section. So I wanted to answer a couple of your questions regarding how concerned are you around your efficacy regarding self-care. So someone asked if there's a good practice or ratio when it comes to balancing or allotting overtime for work. And I think there is. There's not an exact formula, but my goodness, one way to know if you've gone overtime at work is to know your body. I know what my body feels like when I've gone too far. I get these body pains, and I'm a little ashamed to admit, but this week I had body pains and I plowed on through it and kept working. I got my work done, but it was so uncomfortable, and it wasn't a matter of life and death, and I probably could have done it at a different time, but the kind of people we are, we plow through. Don't be like me on that day. Do you know what your body feels like when you've gone too far? Be aware of that and start responding to it. Don't let your body shut itself down. You tell your body, you know what? We're not going to do this. And take a time, take a break, but do something to restore that balance back to your body. Know what it feels like. Another way to allot overtime for work is to plan your overtime. What days are you going to choose to stay later? Commit to that. That becomes normal. That builds into your routine. Too many days of, oh man, I need to stay late. Oh man, I need to stay late. Oh man, I need to stay late is not a good routine to get into. Will it happen? Yes, sometimes. But as much as possible, plan your overtime. That way, this connects to the second question, how can I leave my work at home? When you're ahead, you can leave things at home. So if you know your plan for the next day, you're less likely to have to take things home. When you know that maybe you're a day ahead or 2 days ahead, at least with where you're going and where your students are, you may not have to bring things home all the time. And the more planned ahead, and that's a skill that I know you're building, the more planned ahead you are, the less work that you'll have to take home with you, or the less that if you choose to leave something at work, the less it will interfere with your day if you go in a little bit early to get something done. That's okay as well. The overtime doesn't always have to be on the nighttime end. Is there something you can do a little earlier in the day instead of at the very end of the day? Another question was, how do I balance my physical, mental, and social emotional health? Physical health. Do you plan healthy meals? Did you plan healthy meals before you became a teacher? If you did not, start now. If you did and stopped, pick it back up. Vegetables, fruit, water, grains. You know, the things that fuel your body, fuel your mind, help your countenance actually look bright and welcoming, like somebody wants to be around you in the classroom. You know those things matter. That helps tremendously with self-care. I was looking in my lunch bag today. I'm like, how many pieces of fruit do I have in here? Have I covered? What's the colors, going on in here? I still have to do that. Physical, do you plan your workouts? Do you plan exercise? Can you do 10 minutes of something every day? Start somewhere or join a class. That gives you a reason to actually leave the school building because you got to get to that class that you paid for, right? So give yourself a reason to go, to move. Physical health. Mental health, do you have a counselor, a therapist, a confidant, an elder in your community who has wisdom, a church leader or some sort of community where you can speak and release what's on your mind without judgment. If you don't have it, find it. EAP, Employee Assistance Program, Montgomery County Public Schools, has a program where you can speak to a counselor for free anytime. I took advantage of that after I had my stroke. One of the best decisions that I made. Attend to that mental health. Socio-emotional health. Do you have a community, a support network? Are you in a fraternity, a sorority? Do you go to different meetups for different reasons? Do you plan outings with friends? Do you know about the things that Montgomery County has? Bond, building our networks of diversity for Black and Latino or male educators of color. That's a group that's within our county. The CAPSI, Montgomery County Alliance of Black School Educators. There's the Hispanic Teacher Alliance. There's an Asian Teacher Alliance. There are different affinity groups that you can join within the county for that social aspect and to meet people outside of the school building. There is the Montgomery County Public School Teachers Union, which is a heterogeneous group of people of different walks of life, age groups, where you can connect with people. Are there different communities that you're part of, people who you can tap into to help feed that social emotional health part? Those are some of the answers to your questions, but I want to get to what I want you to do in between. I'm going to put you into the classroom. There's a resource from the University of Buffalo School of Social Work called Developing Your Self-Care Plan. And if there's one thing that we can do as teachers, it is, say it with me, plan, right? So this actually has you think through the steps of self-care. And it might be a little bit more than you thought to think about. Meaning, okay, how do you cope now with stress? It gives you a way to think through that. What are you currently doing for self-care? What can you do to maintain or add to your self-care? What do you do for emergency self-care? That means when something happens and you're like, oh my goodness, stress is in my life. How do you attend to that in a way that maybe an exercise class won't solve? Do you have emergency self-care technique? And do you have someone to whom you're accountable? Because a part of this plan is not just to think about it, but to tell somebody what your plan is so that they can help keep you accountable. I'm glad to be that person. Perhaps you have only known me for 1 day and 15 minutes, the 15 minutes being via video, but I'm glad to be that person if you need it. Maybe it's good sometimes to have someone who's, getting to know you and doesn't have a lot to say about your life. I don't know you in the past, but I can look at a present plan and say, hey, I can be accountability partner for that. My girlfriend's checking on me, my group chat, my family. Portia, do you have a day off planned this month? Portia, did you sign up for that acting class yet? Are you doing the things that are connected to your passions outside of work? Portia, are you going to bed at a reasonable time? Those sort of things matter. So that's what I want you to do between now and next time. Develop this self-care plan. I'm really serious about it. I hope that you do it. It's going to make a world of difference. And I look forward to seeing you this afternoon. I'll talk to you later.